But I don't know, what else do people think about generating content or something else?
I think that's like the best example. Like it's quick, witty, and accountable, right? Like your accountability, you're being accountable, and if the message is wrong, you can blame the whole thing. It's not on you.
That's
Like
right.
you did your best. So
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and actually on that point, so if you are a big entity or you are doing your own things, the beauty of what I've done is set up 6 different organizations. They're not all tied to one. So the beauty is you just keep testing things out. So Shit Harper, it doesn't have to keep going because people are like, where's Shit Harper's doing? And those kind of things. So we just set that up. And it doesn't, and actually, the beauty of online things and like, not intellectual property, but in terms of movements is to learn from one another. So shitmaydid.ca came out like 5 days before the election. I don't know, did everyone see Shit May did? Yeah, so that was the one. And what they wrote on their website was really funny. So they said, this is sparked from Shit Harper did. We didn't work with them, but we were inspired by them. So we were just laughing because like, this is so awesome, because we wanted to help promote them as well. Because it was just a really funny way to showcase who Elizabeth May was. Because you can read a Wikipedia, but there's so much information. So what they took was like funny things and then wrote a little fact. Yeah, she was president of Sierra Club, she founded it, and she did all these other great things. And people who don't know Elizabeth May get to know her this way. And so it was really funny that they morphed it as a different entity and then they credited us. So it was really cool. So that's the power of internet. So if you are a big agency like Canadian Cancer, you can set up a campaign with its own website and then launch that as one of campaigns. So you don't have to keep it under the same auspices of your website.
What's the process of coming up with that catchy, funny thing? Like, just inspiration, or do you sit down and do it?
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I think it's all about piloting things, right? So definitely it's about having, well, if you do drinks and then just thinking creatively, we love that. But if you don't do that, then it's also like just testing things. And I think the things that work, and the beauty is like, things traditionally were closed doors, like Industrial Revolution taught us to do things closed doors. Like let's have private meetings as us managers or owners and let's roll it out and people will just love it. And that's the old way of marketing or running a business. And now there's this fine line between, and what we did, for instance, for Canadians for Obama is like, hey, let's put this on Flickr. We have the Canadian flag, we have the Democrats logo, and we have the title Canadians for Obama. Who wants to make us a logo? And we put it on Flickr, and we got 15 people respond. And the one that we chose was from Brazil. He was a graphic designer on the side. We really believed in it, and he's like, this is really cool. Just credit my name and I'll do it. So the power of using social media or technology is you can do the same thing for like, hey, I have 3 slogans we want to use. Which ones do you like? And the ones that get the most traction, just use them. And I think that's the beauty is like, you keep it closed doors to get the main content. 5 minutes? Okay.
Or 5, 3 or 5.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What do you want?
No,
3 or
we're
5?
going to keep going.
3 or 5. Stop. 3 or 5. Go. What do you want? 3 or 5?
Oh, 5.
Okay, cool.
Well, and then people can leave early if they want. But the point is to, get a group together, come up with some ideas, and then test it out in the communities, whether it's online or offline. Is there an example you want to bring up that you want to outsource right now? Or is there anyone who has a campaign coming up or something that they're wanting to work on? Do you want to talk about your event on the 24th? Yeah.
okay.
So then we can case study this. Okay.
It's a good point because so I work with a group in Richmond. It's the Richmond Food Security Society, and we've been having a hard time engaging the Asian community in Richmond to talk about food issues. Sourcing locally, buying local, supporting local farmers. It's not part of their cultural thinking, and we wanted to kind of break through that. So we're hosting a dialogue next Tuesday, and we titled it. We're trying to be quite dramatic. Can Asian food choices be part of the local food system? And then kind of as a subtitle, it's like, should Canadians continue to eat rice? Just as a catchy kind of thing. So, we've been using a Facebook site, emailing out to all of our connections through our separate, we're partnering with Run County, City of Richmond. So it went offline in a newspaper, through the City of Richmond's traditional, advertising, but online we're also tweeting about it and putting mostly people to the Facebook site. But I'm noticing there's still not, it's mostly non-Asians still who are coming to this event. And so actually today so this was actually going to be my question. How do you balance online and offline campaigning when you're doing something like this? Because I think a lot of our audience is not going to be online. So I was out under the free road today putting posters up at every single bank and at some of the Asian malls and just trying to do that kind of thing. But more ideas would be much appreciated.
So, yeah.
I was just gonna say, it's like the 100-baht chopsticks kind of thing, right? Like it maybe
See,
you
that's
could do
really funny. That's really funny. That's really funny.
and if you could do maybe something where there was a prize for a contest, if somebody knew the last time the chopsticks touched some food that was from close by or something like that. But sometimes games or that interactive element is fewer games.
And you can play that online and then bring it offline as well. So you can do a retweet contest about chopsticks. What's your funniest story with rice or something? What's your favorite dish? Is it a rice bowl or whatever? And let's talk about new ways to think about it. That's really good. Good point.
And for hire.
How about engaging a community that you're not used to? I think that's what the main issue is. How do you get to someone? Because there are definitely Asians using Twitter and social media. And actually, when you look at statistics, ethnic minorities in Canada and in the US, especially Asians, are higher usage than everyone else actually. Yeah, on Facebook. So the point is that we're not in those people's potential, right? That's what we could say. And so how do we start looking at that? Might be a good idea.
Maybe it might help to find somebody who's farming in Richmond that's part of that community or something like that to connect with people. That might resonate a bit more than just some random person.
Finding someone within that community who's doing the same things that you are, but still has roots. And to do that offline and so forth before you actually start building an online thing.
We did actually hold a focus group with a group of about 12 young people of Asian descent who had also done a lot of environmental activist work. And we were able to, from them, get a better understanding of what really motivates their parents and the food choices that happen. So we had a pretty good understanding. One thing that they mentioned was not to use a farmer, actually, because the status of farmers in the Asian culture, this is a Chinese Asian culture, I should say, is very, very low. And we need to find those superstars who would, So we've actually got one of the superstars in Claudia Lee. She is a young woman who started a group called Shark Truth to encourage especially newlyweds not to serve shark fin soup at their weddings. And so she's going to be a speaker at the event, and her team is also tweeting the event, which is great.
And when I know, because I haven't told you, but the food bloggers, like everyone's a food blogger. But the point is the number of food bloggers in terms of demographics have become in the last year more Asian. So there's a lot of Asian food bloggers. And you sat on a panel with one, but there's like another 10. So the point is to look at champions within the Asian community and try to see if any of those people could be your advisors or people who would help tweet that up. And think of creative things like 100 chopsticks or, what's your favorite dish? And they're really good. So follow Me Foodie and Man Food Tour, and there's like a bunch of them that are on Twitter quite a bit. And it's trying to bring on, out of the 10, hopefully 3 will bite. And then they can help you with the campaign to drive up the number of people from the Asian community to come out, which would be interesting.
One of my thoughts is, have you done any multilingual?
We're just having our posters translated into speak, so. But it's a tough one because the whole translation stuff actually happens like overnight and stuff goes up. But when you have to have things translated, it kind of takes second fiddle, and unfortunately.
Or you can use like pinyin, ni hao, sure, fun, something. Just write it in pinyin and it'll be funny. That might be good. Oh, was it useful?
It was.
Yeah?
It was. Yeah.
Okay, so who wants to do the last reflective or question? And then we'll end there, probably. Go back to the big group. It can be small too, don't put you on the spot.
Well, if no one else would, how do you make sure what you're doing online has real world implications?
Do you want to
And
give
I
an
guess
example?
in some cases it's obvious. I guess getting people to promote to an event, obvious. Things around elections where you're trying to influence people's votes sort of a certain way. You know, also kind of obvious. But for more nebulous things where like
Do
I
you have
guess
an example?
for
Yeah,
example
yeah.
I'm involved in the Canadian Student Debate Federation.
Canadian
Student Debate Federation.
Yeah.
So high school debate. I guess trying to figure out a way in which we can use social media, which we've never done, to do what? Right? Well,
So this is really-
like okay, great to use it, but what do I do with it? That's the question.
And I think we can talk about skill, unfortunately we don't have enough time. The quick answers are leveraging Facebook and Twitter to have debates online and then carrying on a blog. So do we want to have insight or do we not want to have insight? Let's have people for and against and let's have a live discussion on the merits of one or the other. And I think you could easily do that. Or whatever topic, should the Thrashers go back to Winnipeg? Right? And let's have a debate on that. So that's something easy that everyone will dialogue on. And then you can talk about flooding. Should the mayor and the province actually flood Manitoba? Let's have a debate on that. So I think there's lots of potential, yes. And you can probably have this woman hire.
We're breaking up a really good conversation.
No, we're just
Good, okay.